I disconnected. Fantastic. You feel fantastic. Thank you. Yes. So the important thing is that when we are online, actually, I would say that we are all teachers and we're doing the same thing. The only difference is that we're behind our devices, and that's what maybe makes it hard to make our learners motivated. So, what's important if you're doing something and it works, and do more of it. But if you're seeing that something isn't working, for example, your students are less motivated, they're not motivated, and actually you can't do anything, then we have to shift, we have to change as fast as we can. So one important thing is, yes, we all, at the beginning, they all feel frustrated. They're all out of their mind, what's going to happen. And thank God, 1 year has passed, we've all been online. And the good thing is that I guess we've gone through a lot of challenges. And the most important thing is that now that we've gone through all our okay, and can you turn off your mics, please? I think and somebody is talking my own the same language as me. Excuse me. So, and the important thing is that if we are going through the important challenges, what would you think would be the first mind change, the breakthrough? Well, I guess the breakthrough would be who, first of all, we could ask ourselves, who was your favorite teacher? Why? Could you type that in for me? Who was your favorite teacher and why? Can you tell me that? The sound is not clear and the slides, you can't see the slides. So, who was your favorite teacher? Never mind who, okay, Mr. Parry, but tell me why. Why was that person your favorite teacher? Not just push to do whatever we can. Thank you. We can, an English teacher, why? Why was that person? So, I guess we can say your favorite. Enlightened you, thank you. Gave you marks, thank you. That's a good one. When we get marks, we're happy about it, yes. Creative, thank you, wonderful. Creative, caring, thank you. Interactive, thank you. Taskmaster, wonderful, excellent, thank you. Strict, believed in special, wonderful, I like that. Believed I was special, thank you. Encouraging, wonderful. All of these are great, thank you very much. So yes, the most important thing is motivation is the key to our learning, okay? We need to give our learners motivation, but how can we do that? How can we do that? Well, it's very important that first of all, they understand that it's not just all about, we should reflect on the moment that the chances of being a motivator. You were inspired. You were probably inspired by somebody. They encouraged you, and you were attainable and purposeful. So the important thing is that we are, so nobody can see the PowerPoint, and because the PowerPoint is just running. And the most important thing is that wherever you serve children and parents or anybody, the most important thing is that we should maintain the motivation through the learning process. But how can we do that? The most important thing is that what's important that we can manage to motivate them online. So I'm going to give you some statements. There are statements. Can you see the statements? Can everybody see the statements that I have on my screen right now? No slides. So you can't see slides? Oh dear. So you can't see anything?
Dr. Mobina, you can do one thing. You can stop sharing. You can stop sharing and reshare again. Okay, this try this.
Okay, let me just do that one
So
more
they already
time.
downloaded, right? They already downloaded your desktop, right?
Yes,
Or your laptop.
yes, yes.
So you can
So
stop sharing and then share again.
share it. Okay, Faisal, I'll try that one more time. Let me just see if I can share one more time. So while I'm disconnecting and connecting, Faisal, do you want me to send this for you? I can just email it right now to you so you can share it because I've done that and it's not working properly. Shall I do that, Faisal?
Okay, okay, let me, okay, you can.
I can do that. Let me just send it to you. Shall I email it to you, Faisal?
Yeah, okay.
I think, Dr. Mobina, you can share by using, here it is
Yeah, I
mentioned,
actually shared, but I don't know what's happening. I always
the
share. I always do
presenters
that.
can share, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that, but unfortunately, I don't know what's happening right now, and that's why I closed all
Okay, did you send it
tabs.
to ELT? Did you send it to ELT email?
Okay, and I'm just Faisal, I've sent it on your WhatsApp. Can you find it there? Is that okay? I have just sent it.
It looks like it's not in a link.
Oh, it came by a link. So let me just, so while everybody's there and I'm sending this, I want you to think about this. Some learners are not motivated by anything. Do you think it's true or false? Would everybody in the chat box just write true or false about this? It's Faisal, I emailed it.
You can send a slide. You can send a slide
I
to our mic.
emailed it, Faisal. Right now it's in your Gmail. Yeah, I sent it. Did you receive it?
Okay, wait, I need to check.
Just check while I see the others. So some learners are not motivated by anything. True, false. True, really true. Motivation is connected to needs. If they don't feel the need, motivation does not arise. True, false. Thank you. True. The sound is not clear. I'm sorry about that. Motivation is challenging. Okay. And true. Well, to be honest, actually, no, it's not true. And the most important thing is it's false. Why? Because all human behavior, okay, is motivated. So all human behavior is motivated. The trick to motivation is that the learner which you are teaching is motivated, okay? If he is motivated, we can't say he is not motivated towards anything. That's not true. So if that learner, Faisal, could you see it? The
Yeah,
motivator is the teacher.
I'm done.
The motivator is us. We as, let's say, teachers, coaches, guides, we are motivating our learners. So the trick is to motivate the learner to do that which you wish him to do or which you wish her to do. So the learners who refuse to do their work or appear to half try are usually extremely motivated. They are motivated to avoid embarrassment. They are motivated to avoid failure at attempting the class. So actually, we can't say that some learners are not motivated by anything. That's not true based on psychology. So here we, as the motivator, and actually their classmates, their peers, especially online when we engage them in the task, when we try to give them different parts give them the opportunity to be in their break rooms, try to some challenges, we give them time, they have the time to go over it themselves. So this would be very helpful for them. Now, the next sentence that unfortunately we don't have the PowerPoint, but I'm going to read it for you. One day a learner is motivated, the next day he or she is not. Yes, my
Dr.
son.
Mubina, I'm sharing the. I think that they can see the slides from my side. I'm sharing the
Okay,
slide.
sure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can you see the slides?
Thank
Can
you
you see the
for your
slides?
Thank you for your help. Can you, Faisal, go to page 4?
Page 4 back.
Page 4. Let me see what you're doing for a second. I'm just going to check because I was on my PowerPoint.
Okay.
So just give me a second. There are 3 statements. Go one more. Go down. No, this is not the page I want. Go to the next page, please.
This one?
Right here. Yes. Thank you. Stay here. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful, Faisal. Thank you very much, Dr. Faisal. And so look at number 2, please. So what's your idea about this? Is this true or false? Would you please type in the chat box so I can read your answers? Do you think it's true or not? One day a learner is motivated and the next day he or she is not. True, okay, true, true. Yes, motivation is like bathing every day. Thank you, Jimmy. True, it's true, okay. True, everybody's going for true today. True, okay, true. Nobody likes, somebody said, as Miss said, false. Okay, true, true, true. We're all false. Thank you, Oman. So actually, it's false again. So the field of psychology recognizes motivation as a relative constant. Okay, we're talking about number 2 right now. It's a relative constant. What does it mean, relative constant? If a learner is motivated to learn math, he is motivated to learn math all the time. If a learner is motivated to learn English, he is motivated to learn English all the time. So it's not about one day he can't, one day he can. If he is not motivated to learn English or she is not motivated to learn English, she is not motivated to learn English at all the time. And all of the time, this is going to be a fact. So it's not just one day, it's something comes and the next day something doesn't. So actually it's false. And what should we do? So the important thing is that we understand that when this is false, so our learners, when we see maybe they're in a bad mood, maybe it's not about motivation, it's not that they're not motivated, maybe they're down, maybe they're discouraged. We need to change the task. We need to give them we need to touch their hearts sometimes. We need to tell them that we're there, it's okay, they don't have to worry about anything. If they're going through challenges, right now it's not just about the challenges that they have with technology. Now, 1 year has passed, and I guess a lot of us have gone through a lot of challenges. But the most important thing is that we know that now, if we see one person is one day not in the mood, he or she, actually we can say she is not motivated. She is motivated, he is motivated, but maybe she has a problem in the task. Maybe she doesn't understand. Maybe our instructions are not clear enough, and we need to work more on that. And let's look at the third one. Would you please in the chat box now write about the third one? Online classes do not need to utilize a lot of competition in their teaching strategies. So what do you think about this? Do you agree, disagree? False. Thank you. False. Okay. False. 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 Okay, thank you. We're all going for false today. We all like the false. Nobody believes it's true. Online classes do not need to utilize a lot of competition. A lot of competition in their strategies. So they do not. You all believe that competition is very important. They should compete a lot. They should be competing a lot. True. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Some true, some false. Elizabeth, thank you. So actually, it's true, guys. So as teachers, here it's saying that it's not needed to utilize a lot of competition. It's not a race, okay? It's not a race. We're not going to put our learners in a competition or a race because they'll just be more anxious. They'll feel they will be discouraged. We won't be able to put them on the right path. So if we're trying to inject a lot of competition in our teaching, in our strategies, that is going to be a part that is going to be harmful. So we don't need a lot of competitions actually. So the competition part shouldn't be a lot. Yes, we can say that because it's online. When we're online, we're teaching online, or even synchronized or different kinds of offline, we're sending videos. Even in these parts, this is a kind of competition. So we don't actually, as teachers, I always tell my learners that if they're feeling too much competition, actually, this is the part that we should think about. So as educators, parents, coaches, teachers, we must downplay the competition and emphasize the concept of personal best. So can please, in one word, would you please type in the chat box what I mean by personal best? What do I mean by personal best? Let's see if you guys can catch what I mean. The personal best of each person, each learner. What is personal best? It's small, friendly competition, bonus, grades, thank you. It requires critical thinking, thank you. Now, his skills and abilities, thank you. Personal qualities, thank you. Okay, so that's good. Personal best can be their personal qualities. Personal competition, well done. Personal competition, we have to talk about that more. Seeing them, personal skills, personal achievements, thank you. Talent, skills, potentials, thank you, you're all going so fast. So yes, exactly. Personal best is thank you. Yes, all the things. Thank you for your participation, everybody. Personal best is like we have to be motivating, encouraging our learners that from yesterday, from 1 month ago, have they improved? Are they aware of their qualities, improvements, and what they're doing? So actually, when we are praising them, so that was wonderful when you said praising, somebody said praising, and I like that. And the important thing is that they should understand that from yesterday, they have improved. So the personal best is that from last month, from yesterday, they have improved and they are on the next step. They are going forward. They're not going backwards. So it's very important that we give them this feeling. Yes, some learners, they're not doing that well. They're struggling with the teacher. They're not listening. They don't want to do their tasks. They don't want to hand in their they don't want to hand in their reports, their homeworks, assignments. Yeah, I agree here. The personal best is, again, we can say your personal best is, okay, you didn't hand in. Now I'm talking to you. I want you to at least try to do that. So thank you. Now, Faisal, can you go to the next slide, please? Misbeliefs about learner motivation. It's exactly about what we talked about. Here there are three misbeliefs about motivations that, yes, we say that learner, here I wrote down, nothing motivates him. We said that this is a misbelief, so it's not like that. We as teachers have to try to put this out of our head that he's never motivated and he's not going to improve. That kid one day is motivated, the next day he's not. Again, it's a misbelief. It can't be like that. They might be down, they might be discouraged, but it's not like that in psychology. Especially in psychological learning, we say that it's not like this. So we can, as teachers, it's our job, and we should, as teachers, never be demotivated and discouraged that our learners will not learn. Competition, the great motivator, not. Please, let's not give the sense of just competition in our class. Now let's go to the next slide. Motivating online learners. Here we have 6 C's. I call it the global 6 C's. How we can motivate, especially online when we're working with our learners. It's very important. They get so frustrated when we're solo talking. Actually, in this webinar, I didn't want to be a solo talker. I wanted your participation a lot. So here, as you can see, we have 6 let's say categories, strategies that are very important. Now, the global strategies do not focus on changing or modifying the learner in any way. Rather, they are designed to make adjustments to the learning environment, whether it is in a classroom, playing field, club, online, in their house. These techniques are found and the field-tested procedures and policies that will provide the learner with the drive to learn. So these are actually driving them to learn. If these strategies are absent, the learner will have little desire or little reason to even match himself or herself with the class. So let's see what we have about creativity. I saw the next please, slide. So here we have creativity. The next one, please, myself. Creativity, which has 3 categories. Yes, the 3 categories are still not there, but yep, thank you. Imagination, pursuing purpose, and originality. Okay, so here on the left side of this slide, can you see? Is it clear now? Can you type in the chat box, please? What is it? On the left side of your screen, there's something red. Can you type for me what it is? It's a box of cereal. Wonderful, thank you. Yes, it's a box of cereal. So, okay, the most important thing is that teachers inject a variety of creativity in their lesson planning. And we all know that it energizes ourselves, it stimulates our learners, our students. Now, what I want you to do is, okay, we said imagination, we said pursuing a purpose and originality. What I want you to do is, in the chat box, type for me, how can we use this box of cereal, okay, to be imaginative? What would you do? And at the same time, have a purpose and be noble and something new, original. Let's see your ideas. But I don't want to just talk right now. I want everybody participating and being here with us. Thank you. Use the text for creating language activities. Wonderful. Thank you. What else can we have? Nobody's typing, or I don't have them. What else can we do? No idea? Nobody's going to tell us, give us any ideas? Promote, okay. So making marketing plans, thank you. Depends on the level, thank you. Critical discourse analysis, wonderful. The content, wonderful. Games, cartoon, toy card, you can make something. Materials, thank you. Cutting the letters and colors, excellent. Okay, so this is for lower levels. Yeah, we can do that. And for higher levels, I guess we can, as they said, words, use the words, games. Thank you. Thank you very much for your participation. Make concept, a map. Thank you, Jimmy. Posters, well done. Design and advertisement, thank you. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, thank you. So actually, yes, that's true. So as you said, it depends on their level. But when you say imaginative, as you guys said, if they are at a lower level or they're starting to learn, we can use these methods, as you said, authentic materials, and then we can just change it. If we're teaching them words, we can tell them to, okay, make as many words as you can with fruit roots. How many words can you make? So we have an imagination. We're using the concept. We tell them to divide the paper into 3 columns and list the 1, 2, 3 syllable words that they can find, for example. Or we can tell them to write the vitamins, make 2 columns if they are at a higher level. What are the ingredients, and write the ingredients and list the ingredients in alphabetical order and the vitamins. So based on their levels, we can do many different things for them. And alongside being creative, we are covering all 3 of these. Yes, thank you. Wonderful. I'm reading the chat box too at the same time, and it's going so fast sometimes. Thank you. So let's go to the next one, which is community. Well, community, let's see if Dr. Faisal is on the next slide. Yes, he is. Thank you. So community, as we as the coaches, we are motivating them. Learners and parents must know we care. They must know, and they know. But after this 1 year, I thank you all. I thank you all on behalf of all the parents, on behalf of all the learners. I know teachers at any level, university, school, any level. So can you hear me now? Do we have voice?
Yes, yes.
So yes, it's back. Was I disconnected by the voice? Can everybody hear? Yes, everything's okay.
We can hear you. Yes.
Audio is
Yes.
back. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, the most important thing is that they have to understand that the classroom culture may be comforting, and they may be cruel sometimes, hospitable, welcome way. What's ours? It's important that we should know that what's our community like. It should be a calm, relaxing atmosphere alongside that our learners know that, okay, we are the authority and the discipline is with us, but this is a calm, relaxing community and comforting for them. And the next thing that we're going to cover, the next slide, is clarity. So, Dr. Faisal, next slide is clarity. So here, what are we going to say? The most important thing is that when we are trying to show our learners the most important things, what, for example, we have to be clear, give instructions. The classroom philosophy should be a basic belief system that reflects the values, the goals, and we have policies. Sure, we have policies, but the procedure should be specific, and they should understand that alongside policy, we're clear, we're giving instructions, and they should follow them. So now this is the most important part, I guess, that they should really try to follow this part and try to pay attention to this part of learning. And the next slide, coaching. So because I've been talking too much, I want you to tell me about coaching. Would you please tell me that, what's your idea? How can, in one word, please, type in how we as teachers can be a coach without looking at the slide actually, but go ahead, type in, and what do you think? Who can be a very good coach? A friend, thank you. Guide, thank you. Wonderful. Thank you. No more friend, listener, parent, friendly, facilitator, a help, demonstrator, thank you. Demonstrator, a help. Again, a help. We have teachers, respect values, motivator, vision, educator. Okay, thank you. And help them. Elevator, thank you. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Be an elevator. It's hard sometimes, but nice. I like it. Promoter, very good. Mentor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Mentoring, wonderful. Yep, I totally agree with you all. So consider existing conditions. Be sensitive to bad words. Yes, we sometimes need to be insightful, inspire them. How? Well, if we're going to be a guide, if we're going to be a mentor, okay, a good coach wants all of his players to win. And I guess the thing that's very important for us is that we want them to succeed. And as teachers, when we're talking about success, well, I would say that we have to sometimes push them, and pushing them sometimes is really hard. I agree with you all, as some of you are typing there. And okay, yes, no, we should know that. So when we were in our face-to-face classes, it was much easier to get to know our learners. Now they're behind the screen, and okay, sometimes their microphones are off, sometimes their videos off. They're only there, they're only sitting there, and we actually were unfortunate, let's say, nothing. We can't hear them, we can't see them. So the important thing is that once in a while, we have to give them individual time. We have to know them exactly and design individual goals alongside group goals, which we're designing. Use the players, use our learners' strengths. We should try to see which part they are very strong at and which parts need to be improved. So if we try to motivate them in their strong strengths, well, that's wonderful. when they are motivated in the part that we're encouraging them, it really encourages them, and we can do much better in that part for them. Use the actually works for each player's weakness too. So consistently works. Here, when we are evaluating, assessing, I think someone said up there that we should evaluate, we should assess, we should score. Yes, that's exactly the thing that we should do. And it's very important. But they should know that when we are scoring, this is connected, that when we're scoring, when we're evaluating them, it's not just about giving a score, a pass and a fail. As I guess above, some of you said a good teacher, perfect teacher, an ideal teacher would be a person who gives a lot of scores and gives students scores. Actually, I would say that they should understand that when we're giving them that score, actually, this score is the part that we're encouraging them in their strengths, and we're trying to show them their weaknesses. So the most important part is that when we're assessing them alongside, try to give them the motivation that they need along that side. So thank you. Let's go to the next slide, which is virtual conferencing. Okay, so we're virtual conferencing. The most important parts. I've got feedback from a lot of teachers. They've talked to me, they've consulted, and I've tried to sympathize, I've tried to understand, and it's really hard when you have, for example, 30, 40, maybe even in some countries, more students on an online class. It's really, really happy. It's really, really frustrating, and let's say it's hard for a teacher to have individual time for everybody, and it's not possible. So virtual conferencing, this is a very, I guess, let's say these platforms that we're all using, different platforms we're using, can help us. Actually, here we can join our learners. When we are, as teachers, we try to develop our relationships with them. So in a virtual conference, we're actually we're just a listener. We're going to listen to the learners, and we're just going to see what is their problem, what's happening to them, and giving them time, giving them a deeper insight, and giving them and trying to understand their opinions, trying to understand their needs. And it's very important that these conversations can also be valuable, the motivational tools, by providing the child with ongoing feedback. And it's very important that when we are meaningful and ongoing positive reinforcement. So here, when we're giving them as a listener, first of all, when we are just being a listener, so how do we give feedback? Like, let's have some interaction in the chat box. On a, let's say, virtual conference you have with your learners, what would you do? Or could you type in 2 words that really works for you? Or maybe you like to type a sentence, go ahead. Be clear, okay. To the point, clear, okay. So in a virtual conference, you would be to the point and clear. Thank you. What else would be? Like, what things have you come across in your virtual conferencing? Ask them what they think about a certain point. Greetings as well from Nepal. To be clear, authentic, understandable. We should be understandable. Yep. Crisp information. Thank you. Considerate. Yes. The feedback, share it, give material, simplify explanation, timely, precise, clear. Encourage them, okay. Well, yes, encouraging them in the virtual conference is very important. Real life examples. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like that, Dina. Dina, thank you. Exactly what I want to say, and thank you to everybody. Connects them. This is what I was looking for in your messages. Connects them to your life. Okay, if we are being deep with them, we're giving them virtual conferencing, it's okay if they see that, okay, at this time, if they need us and we can't be available, we have problems too. We are facing challenges. We have family, we have children, we have different classes. And if they sometimes understand that we give them our personal experiences, even our personal experiences as when we were younger, when we were students ourselves, when we were learners. Yes, we didn't have virtual conferencing. We didn't have online learning. Yes, we didn't have all of these. And we can just tell them that when we didn't have these, but you have these things, it's much better. You have the world of mass media, internet, different materials. You can just Google one thing and it gives you, wow, a blast. It gives you a huge amount of different things. So alongside all the challenges we're facing, we can even give them our own experiences with our other classes, what's happening in our life, or how as a teenager, as a student at university, what encouraged us, what sometimes we were frustrated too, because unfortunately, I've been getting a lot of feedback from learners too, that the most important thing is that when they're behind the screen, like, look, I'm talking, talking, talking. And yeah, it gets tiring. You guys get tired and you're just listening. So think about our learners. It's like every day, let's say about 5 days a week, they're behind the screen, they're listening. So the most important thing is that get them to stand up suddenly, even if their webcams are off. Get them to stand up, get them to go around, do something, so they're not just sitting in one. I know that we all have to cover syllabus, curriculums, and different things like that. I understand that, and it's really sometimes tough. But the most important thing is that we have to try to get them involved as much as possible. And let's go to the next slide, which is the next slide, control. Okay, so here, as you can see on the left side of your screen, we have, what can you see actually? How does the learner feel? Yes, we have time for you to ask questions. Sure. So what can you see on the, let's say, left side of your screen? Why did I place that there? Anyway, a very stressful student. Thank you. What else? Crying. Yep. Not feeling safe. Thank you. Exactly. So here, hopeless, frustrated, not happy. Thank you very much. Yes. Actually, students usually don't want to snatch our power, okay? They don't want to snatch our power, and they just want to exercise a bit of his or her power, actually. So yes, thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for all the things that you're writing. Wonderful. They're not actually trying to take away our power. We have to sometimes give them the point that they're just exercising their power. That actually what's important is that they sometimes want to do something. They've been so much sitting down, they're just looking at the screen, listening, writing, and trying to follow so quickly that, okay, they get out of control. So it's a very good idea to allow the learners to make a few of the choices. Just give them time. Now, okay, for example, James, let's have you do this. Read this out loud. James, listen, or let's say, Mary, you're going to listen to others like reading and jot down their mistakes, for example. So we give them a time to take the role as the teacher. We give them a choice to do something instead of us. And this would be very helpful. This would help them a lot. Allow each learner to enjoy and realize that, okay, if they're, for example, improving, let's have fun together. Today, we're going to have part of it. It can even be a fun part because, as you know, in the world we're going through, we're all under a lot of stress. So the beauty, as Barbara Colorso, an author and says, the beauty of empowering others is that your own power is not diminished. So we're not going to say that we're not in authority. No, we're not going to give them all the authority, but we're going to give them choices. We're going to make them feel at home. We're going to give them the opportunity to say, okay, guys, no problem. Don't worry. Here, you're the teacher. Do this, this, this. For example, if they are writing and they have sent their homeworks, they can exchange their homeworks, send it to each other, mark it. Like if they're in their breakout rooms, they can exchange their maybe homeworks and they can correct it themselves. So we are in control, but alongside we're giving them choices, or ask them, okay, here, what would your idea be? We would gather their ideas, their opinions, and say, wonderful, nice opinions. But at the end, you would again say, okay, now we're going to do this. But they at least said their ideas, their opinions. So this would be really helpful. And let's go to reflection. The next slide. Thank you, Dr. Faisal. Same teacher, different tools. Now, this part is for you guys. I want you to just look at this. Okay, we are the same teacher that we were in face-to-face classes. We're just behind the screen right now, like me, like all of us, and just different tools. What would your reflection be here? Could you just tell me about this session? What's the main points that you grasp? What things would you like to say right now? Type in anything you feel like. So let's see reflection. Different methods. Thank you. Sahar. Nobody feels anything about motivation, about being an online teacher, transformational learning tools, be adaptable. Thank you. Yes, it's very important for us to be adaptable, enrich materials. Thank you. Creative is a very important thing to consider. Variety in materials. Yes. Good preparation. Preparation is very important. Yes, of course, we should change our perceptions about motivations. Thank you. Reflection. Thank you. Being creative, varied intonations. It's going very fast. Thank you. Important topics. Teachers has to take the embedded different learning materials. Thank you. Teachers can make a break the class, suitable methodologies, innovative. Thank you. New ways of doing things, supportive, IQs. Thank you. Thank you very much. Predictable, different attitudes, downplay competitions. Thank you, wonderful, Hannah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And I would like to Thank you for all your feedbacks. Thank you. And I would like to introduce a book. For Dr. Faisal, can you go to the next slide? This is actually a book that I would recommend. It's actually helped a lot. I've introduced it to a lot of people, and I've read it myself too. So I hope it works for everybody. The motivation breakthrough. It even works right now in this era too. So Richard Lavui, if I'm not mistaken, has given us a lot of things to tune out our children. And well, and the next slide, Dr. Faisal. Thank you for your patience, participation, the motivation you even gave me. Remember that if the learner cannot learn the way that we teach, we must teach the way that he or she learns. So this is the final quote from Richard Lovo, which he always says that if the learner is not learning, we must teach the way he or she wants to learn. So thank you all for your participation, for your involvement, and it was a great pleasure and honor to be with all of you here. If there's any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Thank you to everybody, and you're most welcome. It was a pleasure and being with everyone here. Thank you, Dr. Faisal, for your cooperations and for helping out with the PowerPoint. So some of you are writing about the certificates. The certificates, I think, will be done by the university. Dr. Faisal will send them all to you. He will cover it all for you. And you are all most welcome. It was a pleasure being with you all. And well, my email is there. If there's any questions or if you want the PowerPoints, I can send them to you, and mobina.rahnama@gmail.com, and I will send any materials that you would like. You are most welcome.
Okay, guys, so if you have questions, you can unmute your mic. You can write your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic. You can talk to the guest speaker directly, and I will send the feedback. You can fill the feedback. Okay, wait. In the chat box. So, and the certificate will be emailed. So guys, if you have questions, you can write your questions.
Yes, I'm at
or
your
you can
service.
unmute your mic. You can unmute your mic and talk to Dr. Mobina.
Dr. Mobina.
Yes.
May I ask a question? How could we
Yes.
convince traditional teachers of using different web materials to teach their students, especially in lockdown situations? We have
Sorry,
some.
would you repeat your question, please?
Yes, how could we convince traditional teachers who don't like to use, for example, online or Teams to teach their students? They are traditional, they are just believing in a traditional way of teaching.
Exactly. We have some parts of the world that they're still, unfortunately, they don't like this kind of way of teaching. But I would say that it's very, very important to hold webinars, to hold conferences, to CPDs. It's very important that the teacher should understand, like our teachers, we're all teachers, okay? So the teacher should understand that we understand them. They're going through a lot, okay? So it's really hard for a teacher that has taught for 20 or 25 years in a traditional way to suddenly come And okay, you have to upload, you have to download, you have to use different applications, and it's really hard. Okay, so I would say it's very important to tell them, if you're even going through challenges, no problem, but try step by step. Like we should really train them. They should be trained. They need the help of trainers as principals. They need to be you need to touch your teachers' hearts, okay? Because if a teacher understands that the principal, that their co-workers, that other colleagues are understanding them and trying to help them out, and we're all in a team, we're all a family. If they understand this, okay, and you touch their heart, they will try. Like in Iran right now, we even have some villages that it's really hard. They don't even, their connection is really weak, and they don't even have the right connection. But the important thing is that even in this situation, they're virtual conferencing small groups, and they're giving them precise and really, let's say, simple. We should simplify technology for them. Okay. I hope
Thank
I
you.
was useful.
Thank you very much. I like the way that we should touch their hearts. This is very excellent advice. Thank you.
Yes, touching their heart. Like I have a colleague in one of the villages in Iran, and he's really struggling. He doesn't have good connection. He doesn't even have the correct device. But like he phoned, and I told him that you're right. It's okay. I understand. You are really going through hell right now. So when they just hear you that you understand them and you touch their heart, they will try more. And when you tell them that your students are going through this too, but when they see that you are trying to do your best, they will try their best too. So I hope it was useful.
Okay, I think there someone raised the hand. Okay, yes. Mobreeze, I'm right?
Yes.
Okay, please.
Hello.
Hello.
I want to ask, how can I help my weak students to learn English language very well?
So, okay, what level are they? Can you tell me what level they are, how old they are?
Sixth grade.
They're the sixth grade. Okay.
Eh,
And what country are they from? Which part of the world am I talking to right now?
Thank you.
So, can you tell me where you are from, so I know the culture, the context? Maybe I can connect to what I'm going to say.
I'm from Azerbaijan.
Okay, so let's say the important thing is that weak students, okay, they're sixth graders, and sixth graders are in a very sensitive age, and actually most of the time they don't want to listen. So the most important thing is, first of all, we have to see that which part are they weak at. Each learner is mostly weak at not all the skills. We have to just bring out the skill that he or she is not weak at. For example, if it's listening, reading, writing, speaking, okay, we should first point out which skill they are actually not weak at. Okay, when you find the skill that they are not weak at, it's much easier to encourage them. So you say, okay, let's say, Mina, you're good at listening. You're a very good listener. You're listening well, and I like that part. You have been listening to everything so well. Now I would like you to work on your writing. Because you're a good listener, I want you to, for example, listen to this and start writing the summary, for example. So actually, she's a good listener. And now you're giving a task that is connected with listening and writing. So you're encouraging her in the listening part, but automatically you're putting her in her weak point. So her writing is weak. She doesn't like to write and she doesn't want to write, but you have encouraged her that, wow, your listening's wonderful. Now I want you to listen to this and write the summary, write some questions about it, or write something about it. Okay. So I would always say that try to find their strengths, and put that into making them improve their weak points. I hope that was useful.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
You're most
Khalil.
welcome.
Khalil. Uh, Khalil, could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, do you have a question?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Khalil from Department of English, University of Pisha, Saudi Arabia.
Nice to meet you.
First of all, thank you very much for such informative session, and also for such important topic, motivation. Actually, as teachers or professors in universities or in schools, motivation is very important. But whether motivation is an inner thing or an external thing, this is very important. Also, it is our duty as teachers to motivate our students, to help them to study well, to understand well. That can be done by the method of teaching we are using. Either we are going to motivate them or to demotivate them. This is very important. It is our duty. It is a message like the duty of the Prophet. And I think Gibran Khalil Gibran, in his book, The Prophet, there is a very beautiful poem about teaching, about the teacher on teaching. He said that the teacher cannot, provide wisdom to the students, but he can, bring wisdom in front of them by his behavior, by his way of teaching, by his instructions, by being a father for them, who is caring about them. In this way, they can grasp wisdom from him. So, to stimulate student, there is a difference between motivation and stimulation. We have to stimulate students to be motivated to learn. This is very important.
Dr. Khalil.
Also, by making a connection between the topics we are discussing in our virtual classes or in our classrooms with their lifestyle, to make the topic that we are discussing as close as possible to their understanding. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I totally agree. Thank you very much, Dr. Khalil. Exactly as you said, being a father, thank you. That was wonderful. Yeah, touching hearts. When we touch our learners' hearts, they will accept everything from us. So thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Khalil.
So guys, if you have questions, you can raise your hand. You can unmute your mic. You can write your question in the chat box. We still admit people. I think you need to repeat your presentation.
Dr. Faisal, come on. I haven't even had lunch yet. I'm still in my office. I'm still in my office and I haven't had lunch yet. I can even, in Iran right now, in Gorgan, I'm in the north of Iran actually, and it's foggy, it's cold here, and it's cloudy as well. We're in the winter.
cycling today.
So
Doctor,
Okay.
could we have a recording of
my email address, sure. I'm just going to type it in the chat box right now again. I've typed it a few times. I'm going to type it one more time. So I just typed it in.
Okay, there is a question from Jabez.
Okay. What's the question, Dr. Faisal?
Now he's going to. Okay.
Dr. Mobina, thank you for the wonderful presentation.
You're
Like
most welcome. There's
I,
Okay,
an
guys,
echo.
just
I can't hear you.
guys, can you
I
mute your
just
mic?
type it in the comment or conversation box. Can you give any suggestions
Sorry,
for
I haven't heard.
kinesthetic learners in terms of motivation?
I'm
Any
so
suggestions?
sorry. It was echoing. Could you repeat it, please?
Could you please give any some suggestions for kinesthetic learners in terms of motivation? What any teacher can do in their class for online teaching?
Well, I guess that's a very good question. Okay. When we are trying to motivate our learners, especially on the online, actually we're getting everything involved. Okay. Because we are not there with them and they're being distracted by a lot of things. Like we don't know what's going on behind their webcams. They might be sitting in a very crowded room with a lot of people beside them, learning alongside, listening to the teacher and trying to learn. Or maybe they're in a very quiet place and they're alongside watching a movie there and they have their teacher on another device. So you see, it's very important how we motivate them is we have to get them engaged. Like one thing that I usually do is I randomly, I never let one of my learners be silent for more than, let's say, 15 minutes. I'm like calling names. I'm calling names and I'm trying to get them involved and engaged. And if I'm calling names, I'm trying to tell, okay, you have to turn on your microphone, you turn it off, you're on mute to ask it. So I'm trying to, alongside getting them engaged, trying to level the, let's say, speed and balance of the class, because sometimes engaging the learners at the speed and trying to have them involved at the same time is a little hard. So I would say the most important thing is to get them engaged, get them involved, and try to call them out and give them different tasks.
Okay, guys.
I have different voices echoing. I hope you could hear me.
Okay, guys.
Yes,
Could you
Dr.
mute
Mobina.
your mic?
Thank you.
Could you mute
You're
your?
most welcome.
Okay.
Um,
I can see Norlela. Norlela. Could you hear me, Norlela?
Yeah. I heard you. Assalamualaikum, everybody. Greeting from Malaysia.
Great guy.
hello.
Please, guys, could you mute your mic, please? Just we want to listen to Norlela.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't. I have echoes, a lot of
Okay.
echoes.
Okay. Everything's okay now. Okay. Greetings from Malaysia. Now it's already Maghrib here. Okay. It's 7:37 here. But actually, I just want to give a short idea. I want to talk on motivational side on the lecturers teacher side. Okay, teachers motivation, and I would need more from Dr. Mobina. Okay, in any new further webinar sharing, I would like to hear more on teachers motivation too.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Oh, somebody's fighting, Dr. Faisal.
Okay, I got all the voice. Okay, I
I don't have any voice now. Dr. Faisal.
There is Dr. Abdullah Saidi. Abdullah.
Okay. Okay.
Dr. Abdullah. Dr. Abdullah.
People are writing stop fighting, please. Don't worry, it's family fight. It happens
Dr.
everywhere.
Abdullah Saidi. Could you hear me? Dr. Abdullah. Okay, I think that there's a problem with the mic. Okay, there is a guest from Abid. Abid, do you have a question?
Okay.
Abid? Abid, you raise your hand.
I guess Dr. Faisal, they don't have any more questions.
No. I have a question here actually about self-determination approach. I mean, what's the benefit of self-determination approach in case of motivating learning or teaching?
Sorry, would you please repeat your question?
I mean, there is an approach, there is a method that's
Okay.
self-determination approach. I mean,
Okay.
do you have any idea how we could apply it, manipulate it in online motivating teaching or learning?
Thank you for the good question. Well, let's say determination. That's a wonderful, I guess it would go under the categories of control, the 6 C's that I talked about. This part is about when we want to determine, when we want to say, I guess we have to show that the authority and the determination that we as teachers have should be conveyed to our learners. So, okay, at, let's say, the beginning of our semester, term, school year, university year, they are all very anxious. They are all worried about different things. So I guess the first point there, the first, let's say, weeks, we should apply this theory. I'm not very, I wouldn't say I'm against it, but I would say that I would moderate it, okay, balance it, to show that you are the authority. These are the rules, these are the principles, okay? But we're going to go through it all together. We're in this together because especially in, let's say, online, it's a tricky thing to do, okay? And it's tough sometimes, especially with classes that are above 30 learners. It would be really hard to do it. But I would say that just at the beginning of your sessions, the beginning of the year that you're starting with your learners, I would say try to be precise and try to be as clear as possible so that they would understand all the clear points, and then go through it together with them.
Okay,
Yes.
so in this case, I mean, are we going to give a room for our students to express their self-determination in, I mean, being part of all discussions in online classes, meaning that these students could be the center of the class, not only the teacher. We should have given them more space to express their confidence, their determination in expressing themselves. I mean, presenting their questions, and not to make the class as a teacher-centered class. Do you agree with me?
Exactly. Yes, of course. Yes, I totally agree.
Oh, thank you
But
very much. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. But one thing, alongside that, you have to manage and try to control those 30, 40 learners online. So good luck on that.
I
Okay.
actually I have more than 60 in my classes, more than 60.
Wow, more power to you.
Yes. The,
Job.
no,
Great
it
job.
is not. It is not like this. It is a long. I mean, it's lifetime experience in teaching, and this control actually it came from, I mean, when we were in person there, when we were present in universities. So even the newcomers, I mean, those students moving, I mean, from one class into another. So they heard about, I mean, such a teacher. He doesn't like students to, I mean, distract the class from the what is going to be, I mean, taught. So first of all, I will tell them that we are like a family. Okay, we all members of this class. I mean, this is our family. So we give each one equal chance, okay, to participate. So don't be selfish. I mean, taking the whole space for you and ask, I mean, showing that you are better than others, but you have to motivate others. I mean, this you motivate others, your colleagues, I mean, to be part of the class. Otherwise, it will be just one or two or three or five class students.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful information.
You're
Okay.
welcome,
Okay.
Dr.
So
Okay.
can I be dismissed?
No, Mobina, wait. There is people raising hands. Sahar,
Oh,
Sahar,
okay.
Sahar Garibi.
Sir,
Yes.
could you please recommend other sites that we can have more information about motivation and how to motivate students and teachers? Could you please recommend other websites, books for us?
Yes, sure. I'm going to send a link, okay? Afterwards, I'll send a link in this group and you can follow all the links. But one best friend that we all have is Google. You just need to Google in online motivation, or let's say how to motivate learners online, and it will bring you, and the first let's say websites that it brings for you are the most ones that have been used. So I will send some links afterwards, but use our best friend Google and it will help you a lot.
You can share them. You can share them in the chat box, Dr. Mubina.
Okay, yes, I will show.
Thank you, Khalid. Just two more questions and then we'll stop. Okay? Yeah. Yes, Khalid.
Khalid from Oman. Thank you very much, Doctor, for the informative session. And I want to ask just one question related to the physical environment. Do you think that the physical environment is also should be considered the factor for motivating our students?
Physical, can you tell me what you mean by physical environment?
I mean
You mean
the classroom arrangement and all the things around the class. I mean.
You mean the face-to-face classes, not online classes?
For the student himself, even if he is in his home, distraction, something like that.
Well, I guess I would say that unfortunately we have no control over that. But we don't. For example, some of our learners might be just sitting in the yard and they don't even have a room to go inside, so it would be quiet. They might be even in the yard and they're so eager to learn. So we can't control that. We can only give them encouragement and just motivate them that wherever you are, wherever you're sitting, the most important thing is that trying to do the task, trying to be involved, because we don't know what's happening around the world in our classes. We don't know what's happening behind the screen that we're talking, okay? So it's okay that sometimes like not always, but I would say that's like right now, you saw it. somebody was fighting, we had voices, microphones were on, and we're all teachers, but this happens. So we can't control the atmosphere, we can't control the environment they're in, but we can give them encouragement and let them feel safe, even if they are in the worst environment, and teach them, try to train them how to control the situation. So sometimes make individual conferencing with some special students would really help. So this is based on my experience. I hope it's useful.
Thank you.
Can I
Thank you.
can I interrupt you here, please?
Yes, sure.
Okay, we have actually the coaching and mentoring. These are very, I mean, nice approaches. Sometimes
Yes.
some of our students, I mean, couldn't cope with, I mean, the teaching process. So we divide our class into groups, like 5 students for each group. So we try to experiment this approach, like coaching them, I mean, being in touch with them and monitoring them. So it will be easy for them to catch up with the class if they miss any of the materials we already presented.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Yeah, that's right. So sometimes, as I said, individual conferencing would help a lot.
Okay, one more question because I think that you will have classes, Dr. Mobina. Okay, but
Yeah.
Sumaya, this is the last question, and then we are going to end the webinar. Sumaya.
Yes. So, Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Excellent.
My name is
Hello.
Sumaya. Hi. I'm a class teacher in English language and math science. But here I have one question. I have a student in my classroom, which is their language. It's like a native speaker. And also I have a student, which is their language is a weak. How can I give each student enough time? Do you understand me?
Yes, I totally. So I understand your class is not balanced, unfortunately. So this is what's very important. Unfortunately, you're in an unbalanced class that you have a very strong, let's say, learner, but at the same time, you have a very weak learner, right? Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay, so I would say, Soraya, here, unfortunately, let's say, well done, you're doing a great job, okay? And the important thing is that I would say try to give, it's hard, but I would say that for the top student, try to give him or her the chance to be your assistant. Give him tasks, challenging tasks that she or he can help you aside it. For example, if you have a very weak learner, join the week one with the teacher. Excuse me, you are the teacher here. You're going to help him or her in this part and give that, let's say, stronger student the encouragement to teach and guide the younger ones. But sometimes we can't do that because, unfortunately, maybe those top students are, let's say, proud or they're doing stuff. So the most important thing is we have to first understand, let's say, their personalities. Okay, so I would say try to match them together. I hope
Thank
that would
you.
be useful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay,
You're welcome.
guys. I would like to say a big thank you for Dr. Mobina for being with us for a great presentation. Wonderful, superstar. We're still admitting people, but I know that you have classes right now. You will go to
Yes,
lunch.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sure because you have evening classes. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. Regarding the certificates, the PowerPoint, I will share everything after you fill the form. I will share the PowerPoint, okay, and the certificate and the recording. We will email them. Okay. Thank you very much
everybody.
for everyone, and we would like to see
Having
you again next Thursday. We have an interesting topic: online students engagement from professor from Saudi Arabia. So we hope to see you there. Uh, Anything else, Dr. Mobina, I want to add?
Thank you very much, Dr. Faisal, for coordinating and being with us. And thank you for everybody's participation. Have a wonderful year, and hope you will all go through all your challenges very easily, and good luck. And thank you for all the things that you're doing for the children around the world.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
guys, if you have more questions, you can contact Dr. Mubina through email, through her email. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.